Hi, I'm Kat.
And I'm Susan.
And we're with Left Right USA. Today we're going to talk about a more sobering subject having to do with political violence, with the killing of Charlie Kirk this week.
And the Democrat of Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman.
I'd have to say that our division is artificially encouraged because this is so divisive. And it's not unbridgeable.
No.
See, Susan and I'm more left-leaning. Susan's more right-leaning. Mm-hmm. And this has just been a very sad week, disgusting week, mixed feelings.
Right.
With the shooting death of Charlie Kirk and the Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman, it makes us all confront and consider the division in our country.
Right. And I didn't really feel like talking about the ideas that either one of them espoused right now.
Right.
Because it's more important, I think, to consider the growing ill feelings and the violent rhetoric that we're seeing.
Yes. I think that, me being left-leaning and feeling attacked about being left-leaning and being blamed for Charlie Kirk's death, the whole rhetoric, seeing Trump on the news show this morning, where he was asked, there's such division in this country right now. What do you think we could do to bring our country back together? And his response was sickening. It was something to the effect, I could care less.
Yeah.
So it's really up to us.
And that's not a responsible leader.
Yeah.
A leader at this point in time needs to help bring the country together.
Yeah.
Not say, well, I don't care. I'm going to basically say, I'm not your president to half the country.
Right.
I don't care about you. And I'm going to attack you. And that's the sort of thing we're hearing. And I also don't like people who are like, oh, yay, these people are dead. That's not who I hope we are as a country.
And see, I can understand that point of view, having loved ones who were attacked directly by, well, for example, Charlie Kirk's ideologies, where I have loved ones that are in the LGBTQ community, and he diminished them. He called for violence against them, those kinds of things. It's understandable to get that kind of reaction from those marginalized groups of people in our country. It's understandable. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. I can respect how everyone feels about it. Those people who are mourning and who are really sad, who really loved him. But I can't respect the politicians and those people who say, mm-hmm. It's the leftists' fault. It's all their fault. It's the media's fault. It was the killer's fault.
That's what...
He's the one who pulled the trigger. It was his fault. And it may not have been politically motivated. We don't know.
Right, exactly. Well, and I think that's the thing. We got to look for anyone who's trying to use any death to promote more divisiveness, to promote more violence, and to promote their own agenda.
Right. I mean, violence and killing is not okay.
And I've seen some of that from both sides. People are trying to use that to promote their own agenda and try to further divide us and further encourage violence. And that's not okay.
It's not okay, regardless. No. Even if it's motivated by what we think is a good cause, it's still not okay.
Right. Exactly.
Enforcing our views with the sword?
Yeah. No, that's not what we want for our country. We don't want that type of violence. We don't want that type of rhetoric going on. I know a friend of mine reposted an article that I thought had a very dangerous and divisive view.
Yeah.
The writer stated that we in the United States are two very different peoples who may occupy the same geography, but that's where the similarities end. And he thought there was no point anymore in trying to even stand unified in condemning political violence. And he was going to turn his energy to defeating the other side and bringing a reckoning. And I thought there was so much wrong with that.
Yes, and there is. I agree.
No matter what your beliefs, if you think that there's no point in even standing unified on any principle whatsoever, and we just have to go to war, that's terrible. What kind of country are we going to have?
Yeah, and being involved in discussions online as I am regularly now, and debates and whatnot, I see so many opinions And I respect many of them, even when I don't agree with them. And we can always find with those people a common ground of, we can agree to disagree. I respect your opinion.
Right.
It's just, I think standing united and condemning the violence, linking arms is still so important, especially in the face of this kind of violence and in the raw emotions that many are feeling right now.
Right. In the
aftermath.
And the day 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we came together after the 9/11 attacks. And that's the sort of thing we should be doing right now. This is a tough time for our country. It's a difficult time for our country. And we should be able to stand together in condemning things like violence. We should be able to do that. We can still come together.
Yes, and unfortunately, Trump is not one of those that wants to be unifying.
No.
With his statement of "I could care less,"
and
it's sickening.
Attacking half the country. Yeah, but the rest of us can do better.
Yes.
It's our responsibility, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do better, and we all can do better.
And you get the question, is pointing out the abuses of our administration the same thing as encouraging division or hatred?
No.
Right.
So pointing out abuses by this administration or any other administration, we have to be able to acknowledge problems.
And we don't have to vilify while we do that.
Right. We can point out a problem. We don't have to attack personally. We don't have to say, oh, this group of people always does this. This group of people always does that. This group of people hates our country. This group of people, that's not usually the case, right?
And I think we all have to step up to our civic responsibility.
Yeah, a lot of us have woken up to our civic responsibility lately. Like us. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but to who do we owe our civic responsibility to?
Right. It's not to our government.
It's to each other.
Yeah, it's to each other. So when we view each other as abstractions that are defined by online media that we view, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not really what exists.
I mean, it's more artificial. That division is more artificial than it is real. People will say things online that they would not say to your face.
Right. Exactly. And who knows how much of it is bots? Who knows how much of it is paid for media, just trying to get sensationalist, views and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's artificial.
I mean, you think about our interaction with our neighbors.
Yeah.
And with our friends and with our family. We have more in common than we have differences.
We really do. I've been talking back and forth with friends of mine from both sides of the political aisle for months now, and we agree on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We really do. And you think about, you talk to your neighbor and you do stuff with each other's kids, and you talk to people at the store or the doctor's office. Those are our neighbors.
Yes.
It's not them Democrats or them Republicans. Those are our neighbors.
They, them.
Yeah.
You people. That's all divisive language.
Yeah.
And the propaganda machine has put out this divisive rhetoric for years. I mean, who funds that? Someone has to be paying for that.
Someone is paying for that. I found a really interesting quote. This is by James Greenberg, who is an anthropologist. He studies human systems. He said, "To condemn Kirk's and Hoffman's murderers is necessary but insufficient. The harder task is to dismantle the architecture that made it possible. That means confronting not just the act, but the scaffolding of division, the donor networks, the media platforms, the symbolic structures that profit from hostility.
Right.
It means insisting that politics is not war by other means, but the fragile practice of managing differences without destruction."
Right. So with you being the much more religious person of the two of us, where does religion come into this?
I think religion is playing a part. I mean, we see that religion is very important to many people. We've heard political figures and talking figures. Charlie Kirk talked about religion a lot. I mean, it does come into it. Yeah. And so as a devout Christian, I've been thinking about this an awful lot and talking about with friends of mine who are also religious. And I found a couple of really good summations of what we're thinking about. Representative James Tallarico from Texas, he recently announced his run for the Senate. He reminded us recently that if we're Christian, we follow a barefoot rabbi who gave us 2 great commandments, to love God and to love our neighbor. And he reminded us that there is no love of God without love of neighbor.
Yeah. And I think that applies to immigration. That applies to people who aren't like us.
Right.
Yeah.
People who are more liberal or people who are more conservative. It doesn't matter. We have neighbors. We have a responsibility to our neighbors. We live in a country together, and we want it to be a good country for us all.
A safe country.
A safe country. Yeah.
With tanks on our roads, it doesn't feel very safe.
No. And then our 100-year-old Russell M. Nelson recently spoke about this in April. And he was talking about gaining confidence in approaching God. It's also important to know that scripturally, charity equals the pure love of Christ.
Yes.
So in this quote, he says, the present hostility in public dialogue and on social media is alarming. As followers of Jesus Christ, we should lead the way as peacemakers. As charity, the love of Christ, becomes part of our nature, we will lose the impulse to demean others. We will stop judging others. We will have charity for those from all walks of life. Charity towards all men is essential to our progress. Charity is the foundation of a godly character. Let us plead with Heavenly Father to fill our hearts with greater charity, especially for those who are difficult to love. So, I liked that message. And that's true religion, right?
And even though I'm not super religious, I still follow God.
Yeah.
I still am very spiritual. I have a belief in a higher power. That's what drives me. That's what drives my love for my fellow man. That's what keeps me from judging others as best I can. And when I do realize I'm judging someone, it keeps me it helps me step back and look at, I don't know what I don't know about this person. I haven't walked in this person's shoes. And it really does help. It really does. And, one thing I want to bring up as a side note, don't forget about the Epstein investigation.
Right. I don't want to be distracted away from that. We want to take a minute to remember those Epstein witnesses that have been so brave and coming out and talking about this and the efforts to uncover the truth that are going on. Yep.
I think the whole Epstein debacle seems to have more and more ties and undue influence on important people as bits and bits of it come out.
Yeah. Some people are even talking about ties to Russia.
Yeah.
That Epstein and Maxwell's operation might have been financed by a foreign power as a way to compromise powerful U.S. figures, and it certainly kind of looks like that.
Yep, and the UK just fired their ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, over his links to Epstein.
Yep. So when we started off, the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee subpoenaed the Epstein files first, and a batch of the files were released, but only 3% contained new details that had not previously been published.
Rep. Thomas Massey and Rep. Rokanas are sponsoring a discharge petition. It needs 218 signatures and now has 217.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
And then Senator Chuck Schumer just forced a vote on releasing all the Epstein files, but the motion was narrowly defeated 51-49.
We are going to get there.
We will get there. But yeah, to close, I kind of just want to echo that 1950s song. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Beautiful.
I love that.
So what do you think? Do you want to join the fight against efforts to divide us and to encourage hatred?
Let us know what you think in the comments below or email us.
Yeah, and check out our Facebook, Blue Sky, and Substack accounts to keep informed.
Press the like button, hit subscribe to help get the word out.
And welcome to the conversation.